Everyone, welcome back to the channel. Another episode of Seahawks Now, your home for all things daily Seahawks news, breaking news alerts, analysis, and all that good stuff. Today we asked the question, did the Seahawks really get worse this offseason? Guys, there's an article out today that I clicked on. Of course, I'm going to click on this headline. It says, ready for it? Sobering NFL projection puts Seahawks near the bottom, Raiders on top. And I'm thinking, that doesn't sound right. The Raiders, yeah, they got Geno Smith. I understand that. But the Seahawks added Sam Darnold, Cooper Kupp. The Seahawks made good moves this offseason. Here's what it says. It says there are a handful of exceptions, but by and large, the national media hates what the Seattle Seahawks have done this offseason. Do they really? I don't hate it. They particularly don't like the change at quarterback, which saw Seattle swap out Geno Smith for Sam Darnold, which many analysts see as a downgrade. Again, we've talked about a couple people might see it as a downgrade. I don't know if I would say many analysts are saying that. According to yardbreaker.com, a chart from The Athletic shows expected points added during the offseason. Expected points added. So they're taking every player and I guess every coach as well that a team has added and adding up which team has added the most expected points for next year. Geno Smith, Pete Carroll, and the Las Vegas Raiders came in at the top. They've added 35.8 points this offseason. The Seahawks are near the bottom at minus 23.3. Fifth lowest in the rankings. That's interesting. It says, what did you expect after they traded away their starting quarterback and a Pro Bowl caliber wide receiver? If it's any consolation to Seahawks fans, it's impressive they aren't last on the list. The model is skeptical Darnold can replicate his success from Minnesota, while Cooper Kupp and DeMarcus Lawrence are past their prime and have injury concerns, so it's no surprise the Seahawks rank near the bottom. Yeah, I don't know if I agree. I don't think I can say I agree. Look, the Seahawks, they added, you could say, yeah, Cooper Kupp, DeMarcus Lawrence, they're old, they're getting hurt. Or you could spin it like this and say, look, the Seahawks added a really good slot receiver who is a veteran who can really help this team out. They also added a really good edge rusher who, if he stays healthy, is going to be a difference maker this year. You could also say, they added a quarterback who put up better numbers than Geno Smith did last year and is younger and is on a cheaper contract. And they're going to get an extra second-round pick and an extra third-round pick because they traded DK and Geno Smith. That doesn't sound like losing moves to me. That sounds like winning moves to me. So I can't say that I agree with this analysis that the Seahawks have gotten so much worse this offseason. I just don't agree with it. But let's move on. Let's talk about Jaxon Dart. Quarterback Jaxon Dart, his stock has been climbing rapidly for the 2025 draft. Trending on Twitter today was Jaxon Dart. Now, I've been banging this drum for a while. The Jaxon Dart drum. I really think that Jaxon Dart can be, a fantastic quarterback in the league. I know that maybe isn't the general consensus on him. I think there's still kind of a debate going on. Is he really as talented as some people think he is? I think he's going to be great. And his draft stock has been rising. In the latest mock drafts, he is more often getting mocked in the first round than in the second, third rounds. I've seen a lot of people saying the Steelers might take him in the first round. I've seen him being mocked to teams like the Giants in the second round. Remember, guys, he was considered, clearly a second or third round, and now he's starting to push into that first round. Mel Kiper is starting to place him in that first round as well. Obviously, we know Mel Kiper is the guy who does all the big boards. So Jaxon Dart, yeah, no surprise, his stock is climbing. Very talented quarterback. Last year, he threw 29 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, had a 180.7 passer rating. Those are really good numbers. 69.3% completion percentage, 4,279 yards. I mean, Jaxon Dart is a stud. I want the Seahawks to take Jaxon Dart, but I don't know. I want to be completely open. I'm not sure if I do want him in the first round. When I was I was really beating the Dart drum when I thought he was going to be a second rounder. And I would love for this team to take him in the second round. I think in the first round, it becomes a very interesting question of how much do you need a quarterback? And how much do you really believe that Jaxon Dart can be that guy for you? Because if you don't think that he can be that guy, first round would be an overdraft for him. And I'm worrying, obviously, my long-term fear is that the Seahawks are never going to be able to find a true franchise quarterback unless they draft one. They have to draft one eventually. Could this be a Matt Flynn, Russell Wilson situation? Remember that. We signed Matt Flynn. We were going to start Matt Flynn, and then we drafted Russ, and we gave the job to Russ. Now, we're obviously paying Sam Darnold more than we paid Matt Flynn. It would be really weird, I think, to start a rookie over Sam Darnold in his first year in Seattle. But the fact of the matter is the Seahawks do need to draft a quarterback, and soon. I like Jaxon Dart, but the question is, do you like him enough to use your first-round pick on him? And do you like him better than the guys in future drafts who you could also stake your claim to? Because there's going to be more drafts, obviously. The NFL it's a long-term building sport, especially when it comes to the quarterback position. So I'm still thinking about it, but I want to hear your guys' take in the comments. Do you think we should draft Jaxon Dart in the first round, or would you rather pass and wait until 2026 to draft your quarterback of the future? Because I don't think there's anybody other than him, Shedeur Sanders, and Cam Ward that really stands out as a truly he could be great. I'm just not interested in Riley Leonard. I'm not interested in Jalen Milroe, Quinn Ewers. Those guys pretty clearly to me are backup quarterbacks. And we already have a backup. So we don't need to draft a quarterback in the late rounds just for the hell of it. We already have Sam Howell for that. If we're going to draft a quarterback, it should be somebody who has legitimate starter franchise quarterback potential. I do think Jaxon Dart has that potential, but I think there may be other quarterbacks in future drafts who have more of it. Speaking of the draft, guys, I have a draft target for the Seahawks. Stanford wide receiver Elic Ayomanor could be intriguing for Seattle. Cardinal Thunder Elic Ayomanor. I'm sorry for the pronunciation. I know it's kind of hard. He's a beast, and I think that this guy could really be kind of a DK Metcalf replacement for the Seahawks. Last year, he went for 831 yards, 63 receptions, 6 touchdowns. He averaged 13.2 yards per reception, 69.3 yards per game. Not necessarily a high-volume guy in college, but he has all the physical talent. He's a big wide receiver. He is strong. He gets over the top. He makes contested catches. Really does kind of remind me of that DK Metcalf, kind of A.J. Brown, George Pickens archetype, where it's this is your big wide receiver one, physical, plays really physically. I really like the guy. I think he could be, I think he could be kind of your DK Metcalf Jr. I've seen him being projected kind of as a second or third round talent, maybe even slips to the fourth round. I would love to see the Seahawks pick this guy up in the second or third round if he's available. I love the physicality there. Elic Ayomanor. So if you've never heard of him, check out the stat pages. Ayomanor, I don't want to say he's my favorite receiver in the draft. I think he's probably among them, though. Played for Stanford last year. In 2023, he went for 1,013 yards, 16.3 yards per reception, 6 touchdowns. So he actually put up more yards and more yards per reception in 2023. 21 years old. He was a sophomore last year. He is going to the draft. Comes out of Medicine Hat, Alabama. 6'2", 210 pounds. I'm kind of in on this guy. I kind of like Elic Ayomanor. I like the look. Projected as a high-end wide receiver 2 with legitimate wide receiver 1 upside. That was his grade. He played in the Senior Bowl. He's an outside X receiver. 4.44, 40 time. Yeah, this guy's good. He's rated with a hand score of 10. Overall rating 85.4, according to NFLDraftBuzz.com. So I would love to see this guy in a Seahawks uniform. I'm kind of talking myself into it right now. All right, guys, but let me know down in the comments, what do you think about, A, do you think the Seahawks have actually gotten worse this year? I don't believe so, but let me know what you think down in the comments. And B, what do you think about this guy, Elic Ayomanor? Do you think he'd be a solid ad, or would you rather look somewhere else? to find that wide receiver 2 of the future, because we know Cooper Kupp's here right now, but we're going to need eventually to draft our future wide receiver 2. And I do think that having 2 wide receivers is a huge, huge help for whoever is at the quarterback position. All right, well, that will wrap things up for today. We'll see you tomorrow. Happy opening day baseball for those who celebrate. Go Mariners. That's my team, obviously. And as always, guys, until next time, go Seahawks.